Virgo, you know you that bitch or that guy when you cause all this conversation. Okay? What is it with you and your inheritance and it got something to do with family? Always they notice things when you were a child. They always trying to dismantle you or just to take it from you. You know, annihilate it so people can't really reap the benefits of your essence, your true essence. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. This is a family feud, as you will. I have a message for you. I'm eccentric RockStar'Seed, and keep in mind, take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because it's supposed to be this thing about loyalty, safety, and trust. Okay, and you don't have that. Why doesn't Virgo have that? They're born with some. You born with something. You're born with a gift. I keep hearing it. No matter how much I don't like to do these messages, I keep hearing it. You're born with a gift, and it was descended. It's passed down to your ancestors, and because you have this gift from your ancestors, people felt your family, even your parents. I know that from personal experience, but even your parents tried to disconnect you from it. They try to take as many tangible things possible from you. And not just tangible, emotional, mental strength, mental intelligence, emotional intelligence. They try to take that from you. They try to take away your confidence. They break down your spirit. They try to, if you have inheritance, they try not to give it to you. They're trying not to give it to you. And all because of this one thing you got naturally. It's like that could take this person places in life we can't attain. So it's like some crab in a barrel type shit. And you know what that gift is? That's your pink rose aura quartz right there. There you go. You see that? Okay. And then that gift, like a domino effect, create more gifts. See that? That black obsidian. You see that? That says hope. And then you have this gift right here, that discernment. You know better. You know when God's talking to you and when he's not. See that purple amethyst? You see that? But the primary gift, it all stems from this gift right here. Okay, you know how I know? Because when I split the deck, you have this. You see that? That's your gift. That is your gift. That's what you do every day with no vacation. And it came from your ancestors. So why they don't feel like they have it? They don't have it. Let's just say it. They don't. So while you're making your life a moving prayer, they're threatening loyalty, safety, and trust. They're making all kinds of, I think this is more than a psychic attack. This done went well past a psychic attack. You know, they done start plotting. You gotta be some kind of fool, like some kind of incompetent to start planning real life vicious attacks against your family because they have that. That combats everything somebody comes to the table with. Someone should tell stupid and crazy that hatred is not the opposite of love. Apathy is. Okay? So it doesn't die. Business can be lonely. Find lucrative ways to collaborate with others to build both your brands. We're not collaborating with someone who is anti-Christ. Do I need to say it again? You can't collaborate with somebody who's anti-Christ. Why? Because Christ delivered discernment. He told you, worship God, single him out in his worship, his name and his attributes. He also is going to return and say, follow the messenger sooner. You don't believe me? Look it up and see for yourself. And stand out. How is this a personal brand? You made your walking testimony, your life a potency in making your life a moving prayer. Why? Because you have the gift of love. All those things come natural. List ways to bring out what makes you and your brand extraordinary so you can stand out from the crowd. You don't fake it to make it. That is your personal brand. You don't fake it to make it. And whoever said it's cheesy is a najis kafir. That's why they think it's cheesy. That you're like that. They think it's easy to play with you because they don't have it. What you really mean is, I don't have that, so I'm going to find ways to try to distract you from what you know best. You know that better than anything. Whether somebody wanted to give it to you, you already know that firsthand. So if somebody just don't want to show you love, give you love, practice love as it pertains to you, you still have it. It's a gift. A gift of discernment, the gift of common sense, the gift of gab. You can read through people's shit. The gift of confidence, the gift of truth, even if as it's against yourself. You anti-lazy. You anti-broken. You're anti-weak. You travel abroad. You make life very interesting for yourself. Someone gets offended hearing you speak, like you rub it in. You're just telling the truth, but somebody internalize it like you rubbing it in. Like you're antagonizing me. Now I gotta react some kind of way because you rubbing it in. Listen, somebody has the spirit of Beanie Siegel on them as it pertains to how they protect that love. What's your life like? Mine's is real. Everything signed and sealed. Ha. Now, Beanie Siegel is also a believer, a Muslim. And from Philadelphia. He's from South Philly, though. That don't matter, though, because he's still my brother. Now, someone hates to hear you tell the truth. And it's not a thing where you're shoving it down people's throat. It's really just vintage wisdom. You love to tell the truth. Like, you love to shine, okay? You attract people like that. Booking clients. Focus on booking your calendar with enough clients to reach your monthly income goal. I feel like you're there. You're there, and simplify. Stop. You don't waste time on work that doesn't move your business forward. Complete the task that brings in the money first. So love and money. And you showing up. Just you showing up. Consistency is queen. You know, and marketing your business online. Show up every day for your audience, give values, and make offers. People know that you have that gift of love because the average person couldn't come in and do the things that you do and have that kind of success. It's a purpose with what you're doing. Okay? Because that's booking clients, showing up. Booking clients is what's clarifying showing up. You want to find ways where you can make contractual agreements with people to continue showing up on a broader platform. Hey man, that's cool. Okay? You want to say a prayer? So we could get it. Okay? Our Rab, forgive our sins and excesses, establish our feet firmly, and give us victory over the unbelievers. Ameen. Surah number 3, ayat number 147. But Surah number 28, ayat number 45 is what Moses said when he had to flee the town. So that plays well into your success, your upgraded success. Lord, I am in need of whatever you may send down for me in need. Ameen. Okay? Ameen is just saying amen in Arabic. Lead. I hear Anita Baker. Lead me into love. Light the way so I can see. You got people that, for the most part, I would say 100% of the people they care about what you have to say, because they could tell that that's a gift for you. They could tell that you say and act with love, from a space of love and respect too. So develop the best way to work with your clients is like creating different programs and packages and products that help them solve their problem. They know you care, okay? They know that you have the strength to overcome a lot of challenges on your path to emotional and financial freedom. Keep going, be unstoppable. You have to, it's not a thing where, it is a thing, but it's not a thing where you have to do it first, then people will follow. It's really a thing where you're so inspired that you are a person who works well under pressure. Like, you work well through the pain. Like, it's temporary. Like, the pain, it hurts at first, but you keep at it. Like, when you lose your virginity, it hurt like hell at first. It's like mostly just unpleasant because you're not used to it, but you keep doing it. Even through that pain, you keep doing it because something, it releases pheromones. Like, it releases emotional bonds for women. But it's a feel good that comes with that pain because it's a human connecting with another human. You see what I'm saying? From a place of love. That's an act of love. It's kind of made derogatory at this point, you know, with the toxinities in the mix, but it is an act of love. It's an act of humanity. It's an act of being in service to another. And they see that in you. Like, you have that strength to overcome challenges that where you don't know, it ain't about letting people see you sweat. I feel like it's more about just practicing emotional intelligence. Work on your mental health, being productive, not being negative, not complaining when the results don't go your way. You maintain emotional strength because it's getting you to that financial freedom. You're getting somewhere. Like, you're making progress. Your life is a moving prayer. There's a devotion to this that comes with what you do. Let's put that right there. Well, Virgo, I'm proud of you because I always say that in your readings. You're damn good at everything you do. You do, like a workhorse. You do. You're damn good at everything you do. Because you make it, it's like a perfectionist. It's a perfectionism. It's love. So I want to talk more about this deck. I'm going to go into this deck. I got to split it because I put two decks together. So I split the deck to shuffle it. Now, let's do this one. And if it makes sense, feel free to like, share, subscribe. Welcome. If you've already been here, welcome. I just think you make your life every day like you're in a classroom setting. The fertility, okay. The inner call, the soul led. You're living courageously. And then there's the fertility void, the inner rest, that inner winter, that rest, that patience, secret beginnings, moving in silence. You see how she's resting, but see how God is talking to her? Like the roses, like she's speaking the roses, or the roses are being instilled in her, in you. Hold on. I wanna look at something. Somebody's caught up in a rapture of love because it's playing in my head right now. The card of the mystic, right? The one who's in touch with the depths of the inner world and the inner weavings of the world and beyond, way beyond. So you're very ethereal. You know, you're dedicated to listening to the mysterious voice whispering within, to follow your intuition and live in accordance to that. You know, but to living by being guided by what God says. That's what that rose thread represents. So you following that rose thread means being dedicated to walking the way of the rose. So you talk the talk, you walk the walk, it match. You know, to be in service to humanity, it has to match. And dedicated to writing a new story. It requires courage and faith and the willingness to pave a new path. You know what this gives me the vibe of? If you live in a neighborhood that has some kind of crime element to it, it's a protection thing and a respect thing from the people. People respect you enough not to let nothing happen to your house. So if they break in other people's house, or they come into a neighborhood that's kind of money addressed and they start breaking in people's houses and shit, they don't do that to your house out of respect. It's giving me Goodfellas vibes. People start walking that baby's, like the main character, Henry, When he was, remember, he was a teenager. He was turned out as a teenager, following after the gangsters. So it got to a point by the time, like, he started off, like, they was paying him to park their cars. Little stuff. He was doing little favors for them. He just was, like, very dedicated to a purpose, to needing to belong to a powerful organization. You know, one that thrives off respect. They have a crime element to them too, but it's a respect thing. It's like an entrepreneurial thing at heart. When you think about a lot of the different gangster stories, your Godfathers, your Goodfellas, your Casino, it's like, listen, you're here to make a living, and they outsmarted the system for so much of it. So they inherited millions and billions of dollars outsmarting what the political system is in the United States. You come here to make a living. We didn't come off the boat to go ask permission. We take what's ours, we go get it. We emperor status, we go get that shit. We are naturally magnetic like that too. Like, they're very eye-catching. They have a lot of charisma. You see what I'm saying? That's the energy I get here. You don't have to be Italian, but you embody, you're very cultural, you're true to your culture. It's a loyalty thing, it's a pride, a family dynamic, because it's hard doing business with strangers. It's hard doing business with people you do not know. So you find your own people, you group together with your own people, so people can stop extorting your community of people, your cultural group of people. You even combat people who are prejudiced and racist against their own kind. And my point, to come full circle, it got to a point where he was earning so much respect from being with this group of guys, to where his mother would walk home with groceries, and the children in the neighborhood offered to carry her groceries for her and walked her all the way home out of respect of Henry, the respect he earned in the community. Like, he did that from a space of love. Like, he felt like he belonged there. He felt loved. He felt accepted, and they did. He ended up fucking him over. I know that part don't apply, but the fact, like, how he got into the thing with them, like, he's half Irish, so he's not a full Italian. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think his father was Irish. So what does that mean? He can only go but so far in it, but he was accepted in it. They loved him. He was loyal to them. He didn't never tell. At first, he started off not telling on them. So they trusted him, and they loved him. You dig what I'm saying? That's what you do. Consistency is queen as it pertains to marketing yourself for your brand. Okay? You show love, so you receive love. And you keep that in mind. And when I see this card about the rose thread, you're being called to follow this initiatory path, led by the thread of deep within. Like, you may find that you're in a place of great change, or being called to have faith and gather up the courage to take the next step. This is about encouragement to keep taking the next step, and it's acknowledging the courage it takes to live a soul-led life, and honoring you for always taking a leap of faith. So people know that about you. They know that you have become notorious for someone who believes in taking chances, who doesn't fear the unknown. Is real chariot energy. You walk by faith and not by sight. You're a human embodiment of that. They can say what the fuck they want to say about you, but you walk by faith and not by sight. They don't do half the shit you're capable of doing. You blow people's minds every day. I don't know if you realize that or not, but you do. Okay? Because the rose, what it symbolizes is the mysteries for thousands of years. It's an invisible path that the mystics follow. It takes courage to trust it, for the path is very different for each unique person, but this is why it requires courage to trust the inner call. And those of you who go through with it, you get a great reward for it. You're one of the few that go through with it, so it's a good reward. You're starting to see the reward. Okay, can't nobody take it from you. It's given. It's gifted. And then you got the fertility void that came out with it. But it's auspicious. It's an auspicious energy. It holds that potency for seeds of a new beginning and an aftermath of the end. So you know what the other side of that rainbow looks like. You live through it. Like you have patience. You got to have patience to enter a state of deep rest, repair, regeneration, and acceptance. Sometimes you can be one of those high energy people, those high strung people who don't feel like they require a lot of rest, but it's healing in you being made to sit down and rest. So if you're a woman, when you get your menstrual cycle, you become more fatigued. You think it's your menstrual cycle. It's a period. It's a winter void. It's a fertility void. You're meant to rest, to purge, because there's secret beginning. Something new is always birthed at that time for you. It's like you let a part of your life or who you knew yourself to be, metaphorically, die in order to see sprout or bloom again. You know, there's often a letting go, a grief, or a mourning involved. You know, we go through a lot during that menstrual cycle period, but a death of self or who once was in hindsight. The ending of things that were once important. If you notice, relationships, jobs, identities, ways of being, things change during that time. Every time we go through that, every month. You know, the fertility void talks about, it asks that we honor endings to begin again. It's a crucial part of growth, and new isn't possible without it. And that's obvious. You got to shed the old to create new, to create something. You have to. I don't think we look that far into trusting it. We just deal with it, most of it, for women, as that part pertains to women. And what's on the bottom? The sacred union. You have the sacred union. Beloved within. Inner and outer relationships. How do you feel about your relationships right now? Relationships is how we grow. That's your take on it. It's like they cradle and they stretch us through connection and division, love and hurt, compassion and separation. You know, zig-a-zag. They invite us to return again and again to the most important relationship we'll ever have, and that's the one with yourself. The sacred union is about waiting within. So every relationship could be seen as an invitation to deepen a connection with the beloved within. Even our most challenging relationships, especially the most challenging ones, like the ones where it's like, I just don't give a shit. Like the sacred union isn't just about between you and another, it's you returning to yourself. And when we return to ourselves, we also return to humanity as a whole. So maybe you're being invited to grow through relationships. Perhaps you feel like you're being tested or stretched, or find yourself longing for something like external, and this is an invitation to deepen that connection within, which is what I think you're doing. This is a soft girl self-love era. Even if it's a man, he's in that receptive energy. It's like to embrace yourself fully and treat yourself like the most precious person on the planet. It's like the more embrace you feel, the easier it is to embrace others, and that's really what you need right now while you conquer this path to emotional and financial freedom. And this was in reverse, but the sun is about happiness. It's something about you healing depression, okay? Because the joy, this is about joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. So maybe something about your emotional well-being is a little imbalanced, where you might feel some heightened sense of depression. And this is why it's healthier to remain on your own for a little bit so you can conquer it. I feel like everybody needs that every once in a while. To be on their own. The brothers of the rose. Someone lost a baby, bro. Sacred masculine honor, protection, support. Or it's a heightened intuition. Someone's going to birth a son for someone. Or the sons you have birthed are sacred masculines. you're chosen. Your kids are chosen. And honor, protection, and support. They're meant to be makrams for you, which are like somebody who shows up with you to make sure you're not being screwed over, ran over, or disrespected. They're meant to protect you. Or you are reminding your children that they are sacred masculines. You're teaching your children to know that about themselves. Someone has a total contrast experience with romantic partners versus how they raise their sons. You're raising your son the way you hope your masculine shows up. Or through you healing, you realize you being on your own, you're honoring the sacred masculine within you. You're on your own to cure anything that was hard on you or detrimental to your emotional well-being. And what come out of that is the birth of other sacred masculines. So if you have sons, you're teaching them to be the man you would want to marry. But to do that, you have to first honor where you're bruised at, so you don't repeat the same cycle. Yeah. Well, this is all very informative. Let's keep going. All this because you have the gift of love. So you have better discernment. I feel like some of you is like, I want a good guy. I want a good guy, but I feel like the people who are closer to God are a little boring. That is, you're meant to acknowledge why you feel like that would be boring. That's the shaitan in you, okay? That needs to be curbed. That's showing more precedence than the God in you. And we have both. We have negative energy. We have dark and light energy. The darker energy is superseding the light, so you're not able to receive from that sacred masculine or show up as that sacred masculine, someone who honors themselves and honors their family, their people. And I keep saying that Two of Cups when I shuffle these cards, which says love on it. Okay? It's something about you healing the connections, the partnerships and connections. It's like people are celebrating you. Something about when you speak, you have a strong, very powerful message. You have a strong message about love. Love is the antidote, but love is the base and the foundation for all your abundance. It has to be love-based to be received well, to connect with people. It's relatable. Something like that. Yeah, what's on the bottom is that double energy, that interference. Now, he will try to distort what it means to be abundant. It's like if you don't have the finest of champagne to go with the cake, you dig? That's something with Greek mythology with the cakes. But the alcohol, that could be done with integrity too. If you're a person who likes to drink alcohol, but to be ethereal as well as book smart, you're trying to lead a detox lifestyle. What am I trying to say? This Three of Cups is like social networking, and a lot of people who gravitate to you are people who appreciate your messages, who love your guidance, who love that you're trying to guide people into that fertility void, to rest, to heal. I don't know. I feel like I'm not making sense yet. Hold on, let me finish. You blew up fast with the swiftness. Eight of Wands, or you're just very quick. Okay? Four of Pentacles. It's almost a stingy energy. It is a little stingy hearted. But it's power. Some of you could be power hungry. Or being advised to maintain emotional intelligence. Where you're not too stingy. You know, you're not stingy hearted. You're not pressed about money. It flows when you do it from the space of abundance and love. You do it with the space of harmony. Didn't I just see harmony? I just seen something that talks about harmony. You just hold on, right? Hold your horses right there. One of these cards talks about harmony. Well, maybe that was the last read. Oh well, okay. Let's keep going. Okay. Five of Cups. Why is the Five of Cups here? Emperor. You could have survived or overcame your upbringings from an abusive parent, an abusive father in specific. Whoever the Emperor is a masculine energy, so as it pertains to your father, he could have not been there for you. Or you could be raising sacred masculines in the face of an absent parental figure, because you have the Five of Cups next to the Emperor. You have disappointment. Five of Cups is sadness and depression, and you're raising children in the face of that. They could deal with that on some level. Sometimes parents, some people think, oh, I'm the parent, so I could just come and go as I please because I'm the parent. That's abuse. Heavy emphasis on you have the strength to overcome all challenges on your path to emotional and financial freedom. Because this motherfucker ain't do shit for you, but make you. I don't make you a parent. I mean, by technicality, you are the other parent, but you ain't showing up. And these kids are battling depression with the Sun in reverse and the Five of Cups, all behind an absent father. It's like a generational curse that they are like dying to keep going. Like, why do you want to regurgitate that cycle? Okay? The fertility void, secret beginnings. Okay? You got something up your sleeve as it pertains to the sacred masculine in you. You survived that from your own parent, and you could have repeated that cycle with your children, and they end up having the same piece of shit for a parent. I'm saying it for what it is. Okay? Your children can go on. You try to raise your children to be leaders in the face of it, because you still have to know your place. You can't control what other people do. You can control how you handle it. Someone's real emotional intelligent, and they teach their kids a lot of wisdom. Somebody comes with a lot of wisdom, probably because they've been through it already. Okay? With the Tower and defeat, when I split the deck, it's like a faulty found. It had to come down. I had to annihilate that shit. I had to talk to God about this. I had to annihilate this shit. I have a gift. Okay? It helps me discern better. I have the gift. The gift of love is my friendship with the Most High. It's a tower. It's like, I can't raise these kids like that. So be, and it is. And guess what? He removed everybody who just a piece of shit, coming around lazy, not doing shit, trying to fake flex, or thinking they're keeping other people away because they're showing their face, ain't really pulling their weight. You ain't hug and kiss your kids. You don't tell them you love them. You don't teach them to pray. You don't teach them to read. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? You was more ambitious, trying to hold that lady back or hold that man back. And that's why you got the Five of Swords, that Tower. God is in control. It's like, I don't give y'all that powerful, honorable A1 credit and parental discretion for you to default on the loan. The kids are going to speak for you or against you. And there's the type of motherfucker who like to go in and attack the other parent with the Emperor and the Five of Swords, that depression, because they still struggle through it. We're repeating of the same cycle. They could have went through something similar. What you're attacking the other parent for, and you ain't got the gusto to show up. What that card say? Show up. Consistency is queen in marketing yourself. Show up every day for your audience. Show up every day for your children. give value, and make offers. So where that's tying together is if you can't show up for yourself, you ain't gonna show up for nobody else. That's common sense. So somebody thought they had your business savvy, and you turn out to be the emperor. You could be a woman and be the emperor because you the chief of your family. You the leader of your whole family. They may begrudgingly stay away from you, but that's because they can't come near you. They can't come to a chief like that. You dig what I'm saying? The chief is not going to allow it. They don't let no interference. They protect the family. That's what the emperor does. Protect the family. Provide and protect the family. And you don't have to be a man to do it. And then you got the emperor here. So you have the Hierophant here. So you the Hierophant in the face of this ain't shit parent. So you being the Hierophant, you didn't want the interference. You didn't want the pessimistic thinking. You didn't want the Eight of Swords. That's what the interference is, the Eight of Swords. You didn't want that. So you don't do that. Like you made a nice living for yourself. You know, the community likes you. You made a living for yourself. You earn respect for yourself. You said fuck them. Like you're sitting in depression like it's honoring glory. You don't understand it. But God works in mysterious ways. You reap what you sow. You wasn't there for that baby, so how you gonna be there with them babies as they shine, when they shine? You see what I'm saying? And it's not about holding a grudge. It's not about being unforgiving. You can have compassion for your parents, but know that you have to stay away from them, or God is making them not be able to get to you, so they can hurt you in some way or another. And I don't mean like physical. It could be mentally oppressive. They coming in on a different timeline. They're not healed like you. They're not making the effort to do the work. They're not living courageously like you. They'll make the house like a dark cloud because they're carrying around unhealed hurt. They don't do that winter shit. They don't rest. They don't have patience. They don't have potency. They don't have new beginnings. They don't have a sacred union. They are depressed because they're not doing anything about the problem. What's the Three of Cups? And that could be where the compassion comes in. It's like, I get it. I don't like it, but I accept it. I understand what this is. They helped you get those sacred masculines here. So it can't be all bad, obviously. They have support. They have supported you. Okay? They got you here. Your parents gave you life. And the people who helped you, if you got sons, they helped you give more life. So you could live, so you could do this mystic thing, as they say. I hear somebody talk like that. Like you into all that spiritual shit, that mystic. You could do that mystic thing. Okay? It can't be all bad. You got these beautiful babies. And you do. You're a beautiful baby. It's like your parent trying to reason with you. It's like it can't be all bad. I raised you. You turned out pretty decent. And then you get that soft heart for them, but you also know that they're not what they're supposed to be. You're trying to honor your parents, but you got to stay away from them because they're not right. They're not healthy. You could be teaching your kids that in the face of what they don't have from the other parent. Be an absent father, absent mother, but in this case, an absent father, so the mother becomes the emperor. You know what I mean? She becomes the chief of her family. She opened the door so her child can call himself a chief. The Lovers. Clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. It ain't about you getting rich off the life experience you had. It's just it shapes your character. But with the Lovers, authenticity, you showing up in love created a fortune for you. All you had to do was just show up in love every day. Show up as yourself every day, and it created a Wheel of Fortune. Okay, here go the Empress in reverse. That could be why that Emperor is attached to a lot of disappointments as it pertains to home life, back where they came from. They had an empress in reverse. They had somebody who was a little stiff. They weren't very creative. What do I want to say? They did not acknowledge the fertility void. Okay? They did not. They did not acknowledge that. So this empress in reverse could have been separated from their gift of love, because they couldn't show this person love. You see that? It's in reverse. You see her with the baby? She couldn't connect with her babies. Something like that. And this emperor grew up like that. Well, she could have had an abusive husband. With the lovers, it could have come from an abusive husband where you got a lot of turmoil at home, but you have to show up like this every day. You dare not embarrass the family. It's one of those generational curses that's broken. Okay? It's broken. I hear the father of my children is dead. And that generational curse is broken. So it's give and take. He could have sacrificed himself because he saw you moving at a bigger cause. Like, I could fight this bitch. I heard that. I'm saying it how I hear it. I could fight this bitch, but it ain't really about her. Or I could just let her. If she's on to something, or he's on to something. Well, as it pertains to the kids, like, you seem to be making a name for yourself. There's something about you seem to be making a name for yourself. I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna leave you alone while you do this shit, because you seem to be on to something. You seem to know something that I don't with this love shit. You know, and this is not a kind person. This is not a loving person. This motherfucker vicious. You see what I'm saying? Like this person could be like, it's from God. You may not have heard him say it, but the energy is there. You know what? I'm gonna let you live. Okay? Because you seem serious. You seem passionate. I could tell that you're passionate about what you're doing. You're serious. Because you're being consistent in it. Like, I see it, I respect it. I don't like you, but I respect it. So I'm gonna let you live. Something about letting you live. Meaning they're not gonna be chaotic. But in all truth, that's God showing them, you know. Y'all were on different sides of the playing field regardless. Your authenticity is anti-Christ. Her authenticity is anti-Satan, anti-Satanist. So you're a natural separation anyway. So this motherfucker couldn't take that from you. And that's a repeat of history. Something where you came from, with the emperor and the disappointment with the fathers, or the absent mother, or something like that. Or she's absent in some way or another, physically, emotionally, something. She's not there. She couldn't show support. You could have came from the same thing. But you're on different sides of the fence about it. So I told you, love is the antidote. It counteracts every fucking thing. Hatred doesn't overrule love, because hatred isn't the opposite of love. Apathy is. I want to talk more about the Three of Cups. It could be your parent talking about you like that. The death of transformation. It transformed you. This whole experience transformed you. Like, you went through that for the last time. And then what's on the bottom? Defeat. So you beat out your own negative way of thinking to change your mind, to change your life with the death of transformation. That's a change. That's a very inevitable change. Something has to change. Something has to give. You feel me? And what's the Four of Pentacles? It's like you have to be a little possessive over it to secure it. I heard secure it. But your name is going on some billboard somewhere. You're almost at that space. Like, you want to start connecting and networking with the Three of Cups. You are you beat the odds. That's evident. With the Five of Swords, that the house always win, or something like that, because that's defeat. Somebody have a gambling problem or overcame a gambling problem and changed them. Before it could fuck their family up. They straight, something changed. Something shifted. Four of Pentacles. Or someone just takes very calculated risks with the devil. Work. Power hungry. Because the devil is massive influence. The devil has possessive energy. Okay? With the devil, with any pentacle is you obsessively work. Okay? This is why people see backing off of you. It's like, you fucking serious. You serious at a whole different level. You take this shit serious on a whole different level. Like, you're a monster about it. With the devil and the Four of Pentacles, it's not a derogatory monster about it, but you savage about it. You're taking it very, very, very serious. You take yourself and what you feel like you believe you're led to do, you take it serious. That's something they just don't have. They don't have belief. They don't have belief in themselves. They just don't have that belief system. What about them? See? The Magician. Earth on earth on earth. Virgo, you got some Capricorn in your chart somewhere. You just embody. That's triple earth. Pentacles, that power. You hold the power. Okay? You hold the key to your success. You have free will, but it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. You'll cut anybody off to protect your peace about it and protect your power or stand in your power. I heard you'll cut anybody off as it pertains to standing in your power. You ain't somebody who could be pushed over. Nobody's about to take this shit from you. And this is all surrounding the Hierophant, okay? This is you on that public platform. Alright, so you got the Eight of Swords on one end. What's the Eight of Wands? That's fast. Very fast. The Eight of Wands is the Nine of Cups. Your pursuit of happiness. Told you, you swift. And what's on the bottom is the strength. Let's say it all together, class. You have the strength to overcome all challenges on your path to emotional and financial freedom. Alright? That's being able to throw parties for your kids by yourself. Do all this stuff by yourself. By the sunset, by the water. You dig? Very integral. They couldn't domesticate this hungry lion. They can't imitate this violence. I like how when Kendrick say that shit. They can't imitate this violence. That's you. Eight of Wands. I feel like you hustled it up. You see that? He's delivering pizza. You see that? You hustled this shit up. They can't, they don't make them like you. Like, you got it. Okay. Now, so changing your mind is getting out of that interference. Don't let the devil come in and say this or that. And this devil card is massive influence. You're magnetic. The Emperor's here. So you did inherit so much of those characteristic traits where they were able to get away with being a tyrant in the background and showing up to be the people's champ in public. That's a generational curse that's broken because you have that gift of love. And they know you had that gift of love. So why did they try to... What I don't understand in this message, because I heard it before in some of my readings, why were they trying to stop it? A part of it, like to go ethereal with it, it just seemed like the weak spiritual muscles, the lack of friendship with God. When you don't acknowledge God, he don't acknowledge you because he's not in need of anything that he created. So that's a part of it where he allows things to happen to you when you don't rely on him. But he does give chance after chance after chance. He sends the message out. If you don't pay attention, you miss it. You dig what I'm saying? If you don't go to him, take the first step, he got the rest. And you don't rely on him, he has no need for you. He don't have no need for you neither. You go through a series of toxic, a lot of trials. Honestly, you go through trials anyway, even calamities. But the calamities hit way harder to the point where it's like you think you want to die because they're so unbearable. But that's because you don't have his friendship. You're not acknowledging his friendship. You don't want his friendship, kind of thing. That's a part of it. That might be the core of it. The deepest part of it is like you understand so much in the way that I'm articulating it, you understand a lot. Like, you have a lot of wisdom. But you don't have that closure from them. You know? Maybe it's the surface level part that bothers you. Like, that it took you could have taken a while to kind of overcome that. Why did you try to stop me? Why did you try to annihilate it? Why were you trying so hard, to tear it down, tear things down? That represents positive reinforcement. I feel like it's a little bit of ego. I see the condescendence, the complex, the inferiority complex. I feel like that's an element of it. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm big, you're small. I'm smart, you're dumb. If I gotta be all these powerful things, if I'm faking it till I make it, there it is. A lot of relatives come from a tyranny background. A lot of them got caught in a cycle of faking it till they make it. And they never really dealt with the issue. And you're different. You're seeing the same mistake over and over again. They're not dealing with the issue. And they don't know how to deal with the issue. They're kind of scared. I hear scared. Okay? Growing up like that, and you trying to like fake it till you make it. Well, I gotta act like I'm smart. I gotta act like the leader. I gotta act like, hence the obvious word is they're acting. They're not being very authentic with where they're at to get stronger. Where you did it different. I hear they did it to you as a child. Like as a child you underdeveloped. But parents, older figures, they can see things in children, and sometimes they'll try to tear it down. And that's the why part. That's the part you don't understand. It's like, why would you want to tear that down if it's going to help the family? If you're going to end up being proud of me. As long as you're in your right state of mind, you're going to know that this is a powerful thing for the family. I'm the one that's chosen to do it. Like, you're a part of that because you gave life to me. You birthed me. And then it goes back to what I said about the parents talking about, well, it can't be all bad, I gave you life, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me, kind of thing. Yeah, but what was the issue? What was it that made you want to stop progress? Hold on, y'all. I'm going to use this thing. Try to stop progress, and you end up being successful anyway, Virgo. But so you definitely have to overcome a parental figure that that had the same spirit as other envious. Like, the siblings was jealous of your parents, and they joined ship with them. It's like, what in the fuck? Like, you can't be. It ain't that much scary in the world. Like, someone did not honor their sacred masculine, and you are highly disappointed about that. Highly. Because you saw better in people. You have that gift where you could read the room better than most people. You have insight. You have intuition. You have creative niche. And you saw that, and this person crapped out. This person could be your parents. You gave up. Why did you do that? When you knew I had your back. And you one of those kids that say the darndest things to your parents. They just look at you like, you've been here before. Like, you come with a lot of wisdom. Like, who says stuff like that? You're too young to have my back. They think that way. And that pessimistic thinking, that 8 of Swords, and they defeat themselves every time. Well, you came in for change. You don't enter into anybody's life until it's time for change. You change people's life drastically. You don't come in until it's time for change. Virgo? Okay. To answer the why, communication, confidence. See that death of transformation? Okay. What's interesting is you see how that third eye is sticking out on that skull, and on this death of transformation, you see how there's a hole missing. That third eye. That's something. So hold on. That's some of it. The heir. Who's the heir to the throne? The unseen potential and hesitation. And they're all coming out in the upright. So let's keep going. I'm gonna put some more cards down before I read this. There's something about your crowning, your crown chakra. Something with the crown chakra has been attacked. The Dancer, self-expression, strength. You come from a slew of those. Clarified by the Painter. I told you you're a Basiat, the productivity. Did I say that in this reading or the last reading? Creation, creative. Unseen potential. They didn't want you to see your potential. But you're authentic. But this is answering the question as to why. Why would you do something like that? Why did you do something like that? Why would they do something like that? I feel like you waited to reach a healthy space to want it before you can ask that question again. You asked it before, you weren't healed enough to receive it for what it is. Okay, you want to let another card out? The Witch is in reverse. Experimentation and rebellion. Something with the crown chakra. And the Brawler, that's attached to the Brawler, with the lack of empathy and confrontation. I heard they put a spell on themselves. They put a spell on themselves. When you get into that type of shit, you're going to be the only one dealing with it because you're the one that's doing it. So I'm going to put this feather right here while I study this energy. Because this is unheard of. So it starts with the Orator. What's the Orator? Communication and confidence. It still gives me that condescending attitude. I'm just going to read it, and then I'm going to say intuitively what I feel. Doubting yourself, okay, as it pertains to the question, why did they do that? Okay, why was they doing that? From a tangible space. Doubting yourself is only holding you back. It's okay if you take a little longer to think about how to voice your needs and desires. Writing a script of how to ask for these things might even benefit you here. Be confident in taking up a space and letting your voice be heard. Now be patient, because there's more. As it pertains to the Dancer. It's time to stop worrying about what the world thinks of you and embrace the part of yourself that you've been trying to make more palatable to others. Self-acceptance comes with maturity and a recognition of your own capability, a revelation that is stronger for having come through a period of doubt. It's time to free yourself from your past and embrace yourself for you. You have a strength and compassion within you that you haven't realized yet. There's an intuition I have for that, and I'll read it in just a second. The next card is you have the Witch in reverse. It's a sacrifice, clearly. But that's the intuitive thing I picked up from that. So just hold on, y'all. The Witch in reverse is tempting to buck convention by dismissing it entirely. But most processes become well established because they actually work. Period. While you're busy for forging your own path, don't completely forget about the paths that have been laid before you. You know, you can borrow inspiration without being trapped by the rigidity of institution. Borrow, change, and adapt as needed. So if this was in the upright, it would be the world full of old wisdom, but some advice is too outdated for the modern lives we live now. So this is somebody on a different timeline. They stuck on a different time. It felt like they kept themselves back as a sacrifice. You don't know that. I'm surprised the moon is not here. This is, hold on, y'all. One more. The Brawler. You got the, well, it's two more, but the Brawler. You may cry. I kind of feel like somebody's going to flare up listening to some of this stuff. But that's the point, is to peel back the layers. You know, when you see the brawler, that's a lack of, it talks about lack of empathy and confrontation. It's like you won't be able to move forward until a current conflict is resolved. Period. Whether you're in the right or not, take a moment to step back and consider things from an alternate point of view. Entering a situation with your fist raised won't resolve things. Exercise a little empathy and plan out a way to address the matter on neutral ground, accepting this chance to improve yourself without carrying forward any malice towards others. You see that? You wanted to understand where that nasty ass attitude was coming from. Why? It's way deeper than the spirit of envy. Okay? Instead of just being honest, you were met with aggression. Hold on, I'm taking notes. This gives me 1745 energy. When you recite Quran, we put between you and those who believe not in the hereafter. That's why you have that. Because you're counteracting them. You're not, it ain't even for the world. Is you're counteracting those entangled in your bloodline and your ancestry that's doing this shit to stop progress. You could not have known your family is antichrist. You didn't know that they were like that. They don't believe in him, so they apostate from religion. That's what that means. They don't take his advice. And guess what God said? Hang yourself. And I'm not being aggressive. I'm just saying that's what the holy scripture said. Half a man is a dead man. 134. Yep. Half a man is a dead man. So there's a sacrifice. So as it pertains to the painter, within you is a font of creativity waiting to burst forth. This is not just the sort of creativity that requires like a paintbrush or a pen, but the ability to bring about a vision, to know your own voice and what you bring into the world. Don't let anything hold you back. This is your chance to embrace that vision, to follow your instincts and bring about something beautiful and new. And the air, who is the air? The end of every journey signals the beginning of a new one, and it's natural to still feel uncertain about this new path in front of you. You may be hesitating, but trust that you have already laid the groundwork to make this opportunity the most beneficial that it can be. The rewards that will come are worth this moment of uncertainty. So, these two middle cards is the primary thing. Okay? I can't believe you did that shit. Because your family sacrificed themselves. Being in that Eight of Swords energy, that's what that Eight of Swords is here for. Your parents, the people who made you feel like that, so as it pertains to why, is they sacrificed themselves. Being in this pessimistic thinking, this interference, that is a psychic. You could say it's a psychic attack. But let's just say they did that to themselves. So because they did that to themselves, it's a spirit of envy that you didn't. In the face of, they was treated the same way you was treated, and they sacrificed themselves. It broke their spirit. So that's the sacrifice. They let it break. Like it ain't that they let it because you didn't let it. It wasn't your choice to be treated like that. What I'm trying to say is, when it was their turn to showcase what they passed down to you, they were annihilated for it, and they just went with it. and they see you and try to do the same thing to you, because that's what they inherited, is everybody else's neuroses about it. And they caved. I mean, they never came back from that. They sacrificed. And when they saw that you were serious, you see what I'm saying? A part of it is God not letting them attack you no more, because they did that a lot already, trying to take it from you, and only for you to show up anyway, being you're very consistent. That's where I get that. I heard that, like, I'm gonna let the bitch live. I'm gonna let her live. I'm gonna let her be great. You know, he or she seems to be serious. They seem to be onto something, or they believe in what they're doing. They believe in themselves. What they see is you believing in yourself, in the face of how you was treated. And it's a spirit of envy here. They lack empathy. They always lack the empathy because they did not have the courage. Okay? Something about they cannot move past doubt of themselves. That doubt is the curse. With the Eight of Swords energy, is the curse they put on a mental. So it manifested into a real disease, into believing that you ain't shit. So guess how they showed up? Ain't shit. No creativity with the Empress in reverse. A tyrant as a leader. They fake it till they make it. They have no idea what they're doing. You have more pearls of wisdom than them because you actually do it. You have that gift. Now, did they have that same gift? Yeah, they did. But they got bullied out of it with the Five of Swords and the Death of Transformation. So this could have all been divinely written for them to have gone through that. It's like a slavery mentality where your ancestors went and they endured all that mental oppression, physical, spiritual oppression, but that door is open for you. So they understand the assignment on a level where this is my karma. You know, I'm receiving at least the mercy. I see a mercy in it, because at least they're receiving their punishment now than on the day of resurrection. They are living through their punishment now. So you can go ahead. Okay? That was a sacrifice. They said, it's like, I could keep going and keep trying to force my narrative, but I'm going to let you be great. It's in them, the little bit of God in them, like the little bit of common sense they have left, they used it to see you, so you can soar, so you can keep going, because you seem to be the runaway. About taking how it resonates. You seem to be the one that escaped the odds. You beat the odds, you escaped the matrix, you ran away, disappeared, keep your distance. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you're the one that's spared in hindsight. So it was a sacrifice. Even you had to change your mind, because you could have very easily adopted this Eight of Swords mentality. Even you had to change your mind to get here, because it's been made very clear to you what you have to do. And it's not like a punishment. It's, let's just tell the truth, even if it's against ourselves. If you could do that for yourself, you could tell the truth about anything and anybody. And that's just the truth. Okay? They doubted themselves and they held themselves back. And it's okay that they did that, because the little bit of conviction they had left in them and a little bit of confidence they had left is like they already feel sacrificed. I feel like I want to cry. They already feel compromised in a way. I don't know what your upbringing was like, but whatever you saw, they feel compromised on account of it. So they feel like the little bit of hatred I got left is to let this person be great, because even when I lost, I still won, because my descendant is doing it. It could be a father looking at his kid. It could be an absent mother looking at her kid. Like, even though we did what we did, he or she is still fucking moving. They still doing it. They still stand out. They are still celebrated. They still collaborate. They still got the right people around them. They still conquered a lot of shit. They still take the lead. They are the coach. Okay? They're not the player. They are the coach. And it's saddening, because It could be your parental figure who was the players, who was playing all the mind games, who was doing the most because they was the ones faking it, not making it. They wasn't trying to make nothing of it. So they felt like, I don't have it like that, so I gotta fake it. So this is a surprise. This is like a real eye opener for people who looked up to your parental figure. You have other family members that look up to your parents, and you're learning the truth. It's like, I was faking it because this what happened to me as a kid. And even within your progress, you still have that healing element. So if they're watching you or learning, they still have a way to learn from you in some way or fashion. They can peel back those layers a lot better than they did before. Okay? So even in that twisted, demented way of how they did things, that little bit of hatred they have left. Hatred is not the opposite of love. Apathy is. They were never apathetic to begin with. You're learning that. They give a fuck. They have hatred. If you have hatred, you give a fuck. You care. Whether you show it in a lacking empathy, angry type of way or not. The wisdom don't live in them. You was the one chosen. It wasn't for them. It was divinely written that it wasn't for them. It's for you. This was for you. So they use their hatred to let they see you as somebody who just shits on. You shit on them. Everything that annihilated them, you shit on them. You shit on that. Which, where? Bitch, experiment where? Not at my expense, you're not. Okay? What was the dancer again? I like the dancer too. What the fuck was the dancer again? Some of you could have came from a musical family. Yeah, it's time to stop worrying about what everybody thinks. That's why they got caught up in faking it. That's a vicious ass cycle of caring about what people think. That's why they don't leave their shell. They don't leave the house. And that's metaphoric for they don't leave their shell. They stay stuck in transition. And they didn't want to embrace the parts of themselves that they was trying to make more palatable to others. They start tailoring themselves. Okay? And I feel like you became not empathetic. You start lacking empathy to the people you saw that was playing on it. Like, you give them motherfuckers hell energetically with that crown chakra, and them trying to attack your mind and trying to destroy your mental and tear you down like you can't do something, like you ain't good enough. You give them motherfuckers hell being successful. Like, oh, you bully my parents, I'm going to bully you and everybody that look like you in spirit as well as aesthetics. You cannot play with me like that. Because even though you got to keep your distance from your family or from your parental figures, it might have been tyranny and unstable, but you stand up for them, and that's the point. So even when they feel like they lost, they didn't lose if you still standing. You could have other siblings that buckled under that same peer pressure as them. The apple don't fall far from the tree. But even as it pertains to you, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What they was deprived of or annihilated because they grew up in a different time era, you are arrogant about it. You and everybody face about it. And that's what I like. That's respect. That's respect at the end of the day. That's why all these cards surrounding this Hierophant. That's you. So you came from an emperor who also, you see him on a platform too. You see him on a platform. And mom wasn't home with the empress in reverse. She just wasn't home. Okay? So dad had to go on the platform and fake it till he made it. You dig? So if they come off like they lack empathy, they really just had that hatred is love. They just angry. It's love with anger. It's love expressed through anger because they've been muted. They couldn't tell their truth like you could tell your truth. And that's the last of that slave mentality and it opened the door for you because it happened to them. So that's the last time your family will ever struggle through some bullshit that happened over 400 or 500 years ago. Ever again. Okay? Because you understood the assignment. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You come from other public leaders too, but you're not a tyrant about it. You dig? You're more humble about it, but you still got it. Well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Virgo. I hope that made sense. Until next time.